Hey y'all, and welcome to Shade and the City. I'm your girl Treese, and we are here to do Friday's episode. So that would be March 14th of Beyond the Gates. This is season 1, episode 15, and we knew they were going to leave us on a cliffhanger because that's just what they do. Okay, but yeah, y'all. So I'm excited to get into it. If you have not already, please make sure that you go ahead and hit that like button for me. And if you haven't already, please make sure that you guys are subscribed. So, y'all, let's get right into it. And yeah, let's go beyond the gates and let's get shady. All right, y'all. So let me just forewarn you, if you are like me and you could, refrain from having to see Ashley or Derek um, every episode, please be aware that this is a very heavy Derek Ashley episode. Okay. So anyway, y'all. So we open up. Kat is telling her mother how sorry she is that she missed her award ceremony. And Nicole thanks her for a lovely note that she sent by way of Martin, and says that it meant more to her than the actual award, which I thought was super sweet. So Nicole notices that basically Kat is trying to get rid of her, and we realize that she's trying to get rid of her because she has a date with Tomas. So finally, she gets rid of Nicole because she's supposed to be going off to family dinner at Mama and Daddy Dupree's, Vernon and Anita's house. And so, and so basically, yeah, Kat got her little date for the night. All right. So then we get into Derek. We see him flirting with Ashley. Andre stops by to check on him. Surprise, surprise. Okay. And he says that one of his friends at the Washington Record heard about his daring rescue and wants to do a piece about him. And he said that he would even be happy to do the photos just to add a personal touch. Okay. And I said, if Andre is not poking the bear, like, I don't know. I mean, it's one thing to be Mr. Still Your Girl. It's another thing to like you're really like the male Haley. So you just gonna sit here and play in this man's face and basically steal his girl from right up under him? Because that's what it's giving. It's giving Haley. You're pretending to be friend or you're a frenemy, but really you have ill intentions. I don't like that, Andre. You fine, but I don't like that. That's a personality flaw. Okay. So anyway, so basically, Derek's not really interested in this, and Ashley tells him, "No, it's a great idea. I think it's wonderful." So he takes his photos, and then Derek peeps. Derek is peeping Andre's game. He's been peeped it, okay? So Ashley tells him like, "Oh, it was so nice of Andre to put you in the paper," and then Derek responds like, "Yeah, if you say so." So then she's like, "Well, what do you mean by that?" And he tells her, he's like, "I don't even know what you're talking about." He had another 51st date moment. He was like, "I don't know what you're talking about. I don't even remember saying it. I don't remember saying that." He said it must have been the concussion or the smoke inhalation or something. So then we actually see Andre out in the hallway. He's like scrolling through all his photos that he's taken of Derek and Ashley. And he's basically just daydreaming. And suddenly we see this elderly woman named Lucille. Rest in heaven. My beautiful grandmother Lucille. That just made my heart smile when it was a old black lady named Lucille that walked in. I said, if that ain't my grandmother telling me that she watching, I don't know what is. Okay. But yeah, no. So that kind of warmed my heart. But anyway, so Lucille lets him know. She comes in, but my grandmother didn't like cats. Okay. So Lucille comes in, lets him know, I want to thank you for saving my cat. He means the world to me. I would have been lost without him. And it's she's like, it takes a special person to run into a whole house with the roof seconds away from collapsing. So Ashley's shocked because she's like, this is like for a cat. And I ain't even gonna hold y'all. Do not cut up in the comments. Y'all are cat people, because I can understand if it was a dog. I am just not a cat person. I just don't. That'd be like you telling me you running in to save your pet snake. Vernon and Anita sit and discuss how peaceful things are, and they're happy there's just the two of them until their children and grandchildren interrupt. And of course, we know it. Danny is the one that does it, and she lets them know that she's actually not going to be staying because she has her own things to do. Nicole walks in shortly, right behind her. And basically, Danny says that she's off to have a discussion about business, some fashion deal that she's working on, which it sounded like BS, and because of the time of night it was, but she said she was talking business over a drink. I ain't gonna lie, I've seen a lot of business done in the bar and on a golf course. I get it. Okay. So basically she tries to deflect Nicole, but Nicole is like, if your business pertains to Bill and Haley, I think you need to check yourself. And she's like, no, 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 no. And then she's like, because Naomi did catch you scrolling through the iPad the other day on their social media. And she's like, look, I'm not going to deny it. It is a lot, but it's not about me. And that's when she tells him she's going to meet with this top designer for a fashion show for Chelsea. Okay. She leaves and lets Nicole know that that her nephew, which we all know is Andre, has a gift. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm starting to question because I said something last episode 14. And I said, well, why does she feel the need to stand up and say, oh, this is my cousin by marriage and we keep it in the family? And now here she is telling Nicole to her face, oh, your nephew has a gift. Does anybody think that's tacky, borderline nasty? I don't know. Y'all let me know. I don't know. That's weird. I mean, if you're going to do it, shouldn't the whole suspense and be because it's like sneaky and nobody knows? Like, I don't know. It's weird. Okay. So after Danny leaves, we see Nicole having a deep moment of thought. And her parents are like concerned. And so they're like, well, what's going on with you? We can see it all in your grill. And so she's like, something ain't right. And so I love how about Vernon, as old as he is, let me find out. Vernon out here listening to Glow. Okay. He told Anita, he said, let her cook. Okay. I said, no, you better get it, Vernon. I love it. So Nicole basically says she don't believe anything Danny said about this business meeting. And basically said with everything she'd been through. And just last week she was at the wedding with the pow pow. You can't think that she's gotten over it that quickly. And so Vernon's like, well, I don't understand how she could even start no trouble like that because Bill and Haley are miles away. And he believes Danny has learned her lesson. And as they get ready for dinner, Nicole lets them know that she needs to leave as well because she's gotten a call and she's needed at the hospital. So Vernon is just, I'm sorry. So Vernon is just thankful to have Anita to himself and admits that, their children and grandchildren can be a bit draining at times. And I said, well, that is true. That is true. All right, y'all. So then we see Kat. She's meeting up with Tomas at her parents' house, as we know. And he tells her that Eva is the one that actually let him in. And so basically Kat is just happy to hear that she was on her way out. But Tomas tries to play advocate because he don't really know Eva. And he's like, well, she seemed like a nice girl. And Kat basically tries to tell him that she's the devil. And that she knows she's up to something. Okay. So then basically she tells him that she done made this coca van. Don't even get me lying, okay? That was my best pronunciation I could give you. Coca van. Is it? Whatever. Y'all can correct me in the comments. But apparently he was like, okay, he knew what it was. He was like, and it smelled good. Well, lies the whole time. Her parents made it. So, after they enjoyed dinner, he talks about how he did approach Bill about, trying to talk to her, and he gave his blessing. And basically she lets him know that her former uncle is just not to be trusted and he's just a nasty, nasty man. Okay. Nasty work. And so then basically they have a good night. And they, ended with a kiss. And then they start discussing date number 2. And before they get to that part, Kat lets him know that she's a virgin. And not for any particular reason. She just hasn't found the right person. And I said, kudos to her. So, and obviously he's intrigued by this and not run off by it. So, I guess he'll I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say. Anyway, so Danny rolls up to Haley and Bill's house, and she's trying to walk through the door. Like she literally just goes and turns the knob. She stopped by the security guard, George. She claims she's coming bearing gifts, which she does have a big ass gift in her hand. And he lets her know that he's kind of questioning her motives because he's seen the footage that everybody else has seen. And so he was like, I don't know. And so she's like, no, I'm turning over a new leaf. And, I'm just want to leave a gift for the happy couple. Bygones are bygones. She's like, and then she jokes with him that she doesn't have a pow pow. She has a BOMB, which obviously is not any better because he clearly believes that she could have either or. But then, Danny does what she does best, and she uses her charm and convinces him that, there's no lingering feelings, and she just wants a fresh start and wants to leave a gift. So she asks for the code, and he tells her, look, I could lose my job if I gave you that. And so she's like, no, I would never let that happen to you because you've just been there for myself and my family for so many years. And, you're like part of the family. And so of course George ends up giving her the damn code. And so my notes literally say we shouldn't be surprised if George doesn't have a job next time we see him. Okay, because won't nothing secure about that security. All right. So yeah, Danny goes into the home, and then we see Bill and Haley, who are in a limo from Manhattan on their way back to Maryland. Which, as we know, if this is set where I think it's set, even with traffic, it's probably only about 4 hours. Okay. So Nicole sneaks up on Andre at the hospital, going through his camera and whatnot. And Andre shows off the photos of her and Ted from the gala. She tells him, coordinate with Eva so he can drop them off. And he smiles when she mentions Eva. And so Nicole lets him know, look. Ah, ah, ah. Don't try it with Eva. Don't do that. And basically said, we don't need any more broken hearts around here. So I mean, we already know Andre got a reputation, and I mean, we could see how he got it. So it's not surprising, but he lets her know that actually his interest is elsewhere. But he doesn't go into who, right? So then we see Ashley, she's telling Derek, something's been off with him lately. She can't put her finger on it, but it's just something off. So he tells her basically that it's his job, to basically save people from fires. And so that's he did what he was supposed to do, whether it be man, woman, or cat. Okay. And so she circles back to the comment that he made about Andre earlier. And when she presses him about what he meant, she then gets interrupted by a phone call and has to run off. He tells her it was nothing, and basically tells her to go back to work. So then Ashley, we see her once she's done with her call or whatever. She sees Andre in the lobby or whatever in the hospital, and basically ask him to see the video that he did for Nicole's award ceremony. So meanwhile, Derek is in the room because it's literally like across the hallway. It's not even like far. You know what I mean? And so meanwhile, Derek is having a nightmare that Ashley and look, my notes say Derek, but I know it's not Derek, that Ashley and Andre come and announce that they're moving in together. And they're adopting a cat named Derek, and they're just so in love. And so obviously that is his worst nightmare. And so as we cut back to Ashley and Andre, she's telling him how great the video is. And then he actually tries to lean in for a kiss, which Ashley pulls away like, oh no, you got the wrong idea. This is not what you thought. Okay. And so then we see Danny. She slides her way in, slides past the camera. And then, she sees this bottle of, I think it was Cab. Don't get me wrong. I'm a wino, so that's the only reason. I don't think it was champagne. Was it champagne or was it Cabernet? I don't know. But anyway, and she decides to open it up because apparently, I don't know if she said they were gifted that same bottle at her and Bill's wedding, or if Bill had gotten her that as a wedding gift. But anyway, Bill and Haley got that same bottle, right? So she starts, taking the bottle to the head. She don't even like pour no cups. Like she ain't even dainty lady. Like it was no decorum. Okay. She just, and so eventually as she goes on and on, about her frustration and anger with Bill and Haley, and she ends up break in the frame wedding photo of the two of them, and then she ends up passing out on the couch drunk. Yeah. And we know Bill and Haley aren't far away at all. And then, as we know, George ends up going by the Dupree home, basically letting them know that their, back gate or the latch on the back gate or whatever was open. And so Vernon mentions that he had just missed Danny and Nicole, and Danny had left out because she had a business meeting. And we see George kind of hesitate, and they're both sitting there like, what is it? But he plays it off, and he said he's just surprised to hear that she had a meeting at that hour. But I would love to know. Y'all drop down in the comments. Let me know what you think. Do we actually think Danny is going to get caught by Bill and Haley, or do we think George is going to get her out of there before they show up? I think the latter. I think George is going to save the day and save his job. Um, but we'll see. We'll see. I'd love to know your thoughts. But anyway, if you guys have not already, please make sure that you hit that like button. Make sure that you guys comment. Make sure that you subscribe, and make sure you're following us, and hit your notification bell. And then make sure you're following us on all the platforms. That's Blue Sky, TikTok, IG, and Facebook. And yeah, I appreciate all the love and support, you guys. And I will catch you Monday for another episode of Beyond the Gates. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. Bye-bye.